Obviously, today or this year or the last couple of years, the world has gone, you could call it in layman's language, bonkers. There's so much coming at you from everywhere. Every day you open the news and something else has happened somewhere to somebody. What we have basically woven throughout this webinar is the increased risk that we're basically taking an ad, we're taking a campaign, and we are triggering collective trauma points. Now, I mentioned earlier the swastika, it's a collective trauma point. Still, today, for something that has happened 70, 80 years ago, people that have never been exposed to the actual event carry that pain with them. And those type of historical pains, even when you're talking about allies nowadays, Germany and the Netherlands, one of like the two very big powerhouses in the EU, there is still an element of pain there. And this goes basically for many different countries. If you choose to stay neutral, also that in itself can cause damage to you as a brand. So what is it that you need to be mindful of? Number one, you need to be mindful of it. That is the main thing, because sometimes you cannot but take a choice for whichever reason, but then at least take that choice knowing why you're taking it and what are the consequences of it. Because even beyond the impact of religion and the position it puts regulators and power holders in when you have caused great offense, the moment you tap into that geopolitical example, and I can mention the publicly known example of how, for example, the Economist chooses to display certain maps where either from an Indian or a Chinese perspective, there is territorial dispute when it comes to Kashmir. And Pakistan is also partially connected to that. Then you need to make a very informed choice as a brand, in this case, The Economist, in how do you deal with this? Do you not publish that particular edition, or do you choose a different layout of the maps in the particular countries that you operate in? You have to make choices. Even for us as the culture factor, we need to make choices, because sometimes what is considered an independent country by one is considered a special administrative region by another. So then how do you deal with those sensitivities? There are ways out of this, but it starts with understanding that making a misstep here will definitely cause you a particular market.
Yeah, absolutely agree here, because I just think it's a proven fact that this is the most expensive advertising mistake. And among the risks, I would highlight the main one, that with all the risks that we discussed before, so you can lose a market, you can put some effort to bring back your credibility, you can be put to the specific pool of being verified more than once or more than six. You can be labeled with a specific zone or specific group of violators, and you will be checked thorough and more times than others. That will prolong the time your campaigns are reviewed and verified on moderation, for instance. These are really not that pleasant consequences, but mostly all of them can be somehow fixed. We did it from block to block. With every block, I think you noticed it, that the violations and the risks were higher and higher. It means that it's with every level, I would say, it gets even more complex to get the trust back. But here with geopolitical topics, it's not about trust. It's not about putting the efforts and bringing the trust back, credibility back. So with these mistakes, it creates a risk of not just losing the market or the contract with the publisher. Here, it's impossible to separate business from personal. So if it gets related to the local trauma, something people are very sensitive with, even the best professionals, they will never take it separately from their personal. So it means that not only this publisher, not only this specific pool of publishers won't work with you after this mistake. It means that it will be a huge brand crisis for you, because this mistake will be treated not as mistake that you didn't train the people or model good enough. It will be treated, as Egbert said, as your position. So you choose to act like this. You didn't put enough attention to be super picky with this. So it means that you did it intentionally, and you will never know any apologies, no any reports, any investigation cases, never be accept it in this case. So this is the most expensive mistake. And working with this type of content or concepts, I really suggest you to cross-check it, not even 3 times or 5, but read about it. And I would suggest even read a book about it. It's very, very hard, or it's better just to to those who understand it and who will help you and assist how to design it in a way it won't be offensive. But even with a professional, sometimes issues happen because it's a very sensitive area. So if you can avoid the topics like this, because as Edward say, being neutral shows your position as well. So this is a very sensitive area, and be careful dealing with it.